Welcome to Shea Stadium in New York, where this is game number 2, 1968 Driving Mixed Alternate Reality Season Replay, as we try to play the Jacob Degrom and Tom Seaver games for the Mets. As it's all replay, we've decided to input Jacob Degrom into this 1968 Met roster and see how he does in the 1968 pitching season that it was. 2021 Stratomatic DeGrom card, probably one of the greatest short limited season you're ever going to find, as he proved that in game 1 of this doubleheader. I'm not going to say anything. Go back and watch my stream of the DeGrom versus Bill Hans game in game 1, and you'll see one of the greatest performances in baseball history, as DeGrom almost made history. Game 2, on the coattails of Jacob Degrom, is Tom Seaver. He'll take, in the second game of this doubleheader, will take on Ken Holtzman, a left-hander. The Mets come in at 13-7. They are one game ahead of the Cubs, who are 13-9. The Dodgers are 13-10, a game and a half back, and the Giants are 2 games back. The Mets are hot, winning 7 out of the last 10. The Chicago Cubs have won 6 out of the last 10, but they've lost 3 in a row. The Mets, on the other hand, have won 4 in a row. Only team as hot as the New York Mets right now are the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're 11-10, winners of 7-10. They've won 4 in a row. Looking at the stats, the standings, kind of what we're looking at. The Mets are hitting 256 as a team. That's above league average. They are second, but the Chicago Cubs are number 1, hitting 262. The Mets have hit 17 home runs. The Cubs have hit 9. The Cubs have stolen 3 bases. The Mets 5. So neither team doing a lot of damage there. Mets have committed 15 errors and the Cubs 12. In the pitching department, the Cubs are 3rd in team ERA, 2.49 ERA, while the Mets are 2.95. League ERA is 2.83. Wow, that is some pitching we have going in the National League here in the first month of May. Also in the league leaders, leading the league in hitting, New York Mets, Ed Charles hitting an amazing 405. Glenn Becker is second at 363. Other men in the leagues hitting, Billy Williams hitting 305, as he's also in that ballpark. Ed Charles also has 5 home runs for the Mets. Henry Aaron leads the way with Willie McCovey with 9, while in runs batted in with 21. So Henry Aaron is also, I believe, right there in hitting. He's hitting 341, so he's right there in the Triple Crown race in the month of May. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your League's Leader Report 1968, as we bring you this game between the New York Mets and the Chicago Cubs. Second game of the doubleheader. For the Mets defensively, Jones in left, Agee in center, Swoboda in right, Weiss at third, Harrelson at short, Linz at second, Charles at first. Behind the plate is Jerry Grody, and on the mound is Tom Seaver. Seaver at 1-1, 4.25 ERA. He got roughed up in one of his starts, so his stats kind of look a little bit awkward. 31 hits, 30 innings, 19 walks, 8 strikeouts, and giving up 2 home runs. Hello, classic baseball on the radio. One of the greatest at living websites in the world. Having that on in the middle of the night while I'm at work is absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for doing that. For Seaver, his fifth start, he's had a win. That was on opening day on 4-10. He lost his last start on 4-20 when he gave up 4 runs in 7 innings. Back on the 21st of the month, he went 12 innings, giving up 10 hits, 1 run. It was earned. It was a no decisions. And back on the 17th of the month, his stats go as-skewed. In an inning and 2/3 innings, he gave up 5 hits, 7 runs, all earned. He got yanked, but the Mets came back and defeated the Giants in one of the greatest comebacks on my channel history. So my channel's had some amazing stuff for the 68 replay. Again, we're doing the 86 Yankee replay. Once this is over, we'll go back to the Yankees as we'll fast forward a week for the Mets to get back to Degrom's next start. So please stay tuned for that. We'll have the updated statistics and the next matchups for Seaver and Degrom in this replay. Here we go. Let this started. Thank you again, Classic Baseball on the Radio, for being here. Hopefully, I have some other people in the broadcast. We're going to go to game number 2 for the Cubs. We Phillips leading off, followed by Spangler and Williams. Then it'll be Banks, Santo, Beckett, followed by Hundley, Kessinger, and Holtzman. Phillips leading off for the Cubs. Let's see if the Cubs can do a little more with the bat in this game, as Jacob Degrom had one of the epic games of history. Again, please go back and watch it. I mean, unbelievable. So here's Phillips. He's hitting .268, 5 home runs, 9 RBIs. What a start for Phillips. That's Adolfo Phillips. 13 home runs on the 1968 season. Grody sets the target. Seaver looks in. He gets the big right-hander and the windup and the pitch. And that is going to be a strikeout for Phillips. So Tom Seaver with the first K. Strikeout number 20 in 30 innings. Here's Art Spangler hitting .271, 2 homers, 4 RBIs. Seaver looks in from the belt, the big right-hander, and the pitch. And that is going to be a ground ball to second. Wins got it, goes to first, and that's 2 outs. Here is Billy Williams hitting .305, one of the better hitters in baseball this year, almost hitting 100 at-bats. Once you get your 100 at-bats, to me, I think the short sample size is out the door. He's hitting 5 home runs, 12 RBIs, hitting a very respectable .305. Had one of the best seasons in 1968 if you look at the year of the pitcher. Grody sets in the target. Seaver, number 41 to your back. You'll see him as he comes front forward. Here's a front end pitch. And that is going to be a walk. So a walk from Seaver. The Cubs, again, this is one of their very few bases had it all today. Here's Ernie Banks hitting .200, slow start, 90 at-bats, 5 doubles, 2 homers, 9 ribbies. Grody sets in the target. Seaver now has to work from the stretch to the buckle and the pitch to Banks. And that is going to be a base hit for Banks. And the Cubs do not waste any time. Jones to the wall. Williams will head to third, and the Cubs don't waste any time today and get their first hit here in the first inning. So a Banks double. Cubs have second and third and 2 outs. And now here's Ronnie Santo. .265, 3 homers, 8 RBIs. Seaver now working from the stretch. A little bit of an issue early on. Grody puts up the target. Seaver from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Santo. And that is going to be a line drive. Oh, Harrelson with a nice play. 1-4 was a single, rolled a 5. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 left. 1/2 inning of play. Cubs nothing. Mets coming up the bat. For the Mets, Tommy Agee leads off, followed by Al Weiss, Leon Jones, and the amazing Ed Charles. And then Ron Swoboda, Jerry Grody, Phil Linz, Carlson, and Seaver. Cubs defense, Williams, Phipps, Spangler, Santo, Kessinger, Beckett, Banks, Hundley behind the plate, and Holtzman on the mound. Again, we are playing with injuries full intact. So I mean, you can pull no transactions since the entering of Degrom on the season. So basically, made my own lineups, and they're playing what they can in my own rotation. So far, are healthy going in this one. AG leading off, comes in only hitting .207, double home run, 6 ribbies. Hundley sets in the target. Holtzman with the windup. Here's the pitch. Lefty-righty matchup. And that is a ground ball to short. Kessinger goes to first, and there's your first down. Here's Al Weiss. Weiss, 15 at-bats, 2 ribbies, only hitting .133, hitting right-handed against Holtzman. Hundley puts down the target, and Holtzman with the windup. Here's the pitch to Weiss. And that's going to be ground ball to short. Kessinger's got it. Goes to first, and that's the second out. Here's Cleon Jones, 2 outs, hitting .278. 2 doubles, 3 triples, 4 homers, 12 RBIs, hitting .278. Striking out a little too much. Struck out 22 times. Right-handed hitter against Holtzman. Holtzman on the year, 1-1, 3.04 ERA, 22 hits in 27 innings. For Holtzman on the year, let's see how he has progressed this season. So far, the season one is starting this month, going 7 innings, giving up 6 hits, 3 runs, and 3 earned. His only win, his only loss came back on the 19th of the month, where he went 7, giving up 7 hits, 1 run was earned, so tough luck loss. He's had 2 starts, ever no decisions. He's gone at least 7 innings 3 times. His opening start of the year, he only went 5 innings, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, but got a no decision. So here's Jones, 2 outs in the first. Hundley sets the target. Holtzman with the windup and pitch to Cleon Jones. And now back to Holtzman. Got it. He way goes. The Banks and 3 up, 3 down, go to Mets. Let's go to the top of the second. No score here at Shea. Glenn Beckert followed by Hundley and Kessinger for the Cubs here in the second. Sports Time Machine here brings you the presentation of Game 2 of the 1968 doubleheader Game 2 here from Shea Stadium. Mets 1968 replay. Here is Grody, puts down the sign. Seaver looks in. Here's a windup. Beckert. Beckert is going to be a ground ball to second. Lins throws him out. Beckert was the second leading hitter, hitting .363. Here's Hundley. He's hitting .238. 6 doubles, a home run, and 9 RBIs. Let's look at Hundley for a minute. I thought his name was different for some reason. His name is Randy Hundley. Randy Hundley, of course, the son of the New York Met in the future, Todd Hundley. He had 7. He had 7 home runs on the season. He's got 1 this year. Great catcher, though. He's a 1 with a minus arm, so is one of the better arms in the National League. Grody sets down the Seaver, looks in. Here's the windup to Randy Hundley. And that's a strikeout for Seaver, and that's his second. So 2 outs in the second. Here's Donnie Kessinger, hitting .202, a double, a triple, and 6 ribbies. Switch hitter batting from the left-hand side. Grody sets in the target. Seaver looks in, and here's the big windup to Kessinger. And that is a fly ball right field. Swoboda is there. Makes the catch, and the Cubs go down 1-2-3. Let's hit the bottom second inning. Guess what? No score here at Shea. Here is the league's leading hitter, Ed Charles, hitting .405. 3 doubles, 5 homers, 20 RBIs, hitting .405, and he muscles up against left-handed pitching. So this is where Eddie Charles wants to be. Hundley sets down the target, and Holtzman looks in. Here's the windup to Eddie Charles, and that's a strikeout for Holtzman. So Holtzman's got it going. 1 away here in the second, and here's Ron Swoboda, only hitting a .194, 2 homers, 6 ribbies. Hundley sets in the target. Holtzman with the big windup and deals to Swoboda. And that's a strikeout. Inside corner. Caught Swoboda looking for something. That's 2. And now here's the catcher, Jerry Grody. He has to be considered one of the finer backstops in baseball, taking care of such a young pitching staff, including the rookie Degrom, and I believe that'll be a 2nd or 3rd year pitcher, and Mr. Tom Seaver. 2 outs in the second, no score. Hundley puts down the sign, and Holtzman looks in. Here's the windup to Grody, and that is going to be a base hit right field. So the Mets get their first of the ball game. Grody is on, and here's the harmonica man, Phil Lins. So Lins comes up hitting .400, 20 bats, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs. He comes in playing second base today instead of Boswell. He sets in the target. Holtzman from the stretch. Grody with a tad of a lead off first. Here's the pitch. And there it is. That is struck him out and ends the inning. We played 2, no score here from Shea. For the Cubs, it'll be Holtzman, Phillips, and Spangler at bat for the Cubs here in the third. For Holtzman, he hit about 25 RBIs a season, so not much on the offensive side. Tom Seaver comes in here. Seaver went 16-12, 2.20 ERA, and a pitcher's driven season. Remember, this is Bob Gibson's 1.12 season. Grody puts down the target. Seaver looks in. Here's line up to Holtzman, and that back him out. So Seaver gets his third. Here's Adolfo Phillips. Phillips struck out his first time up. Seaver working fast and ahead of now. That's his third strike and 2 and a third. Grody puts down a sign. Seaver looks in the big wind up to Adolfo Phillips. And that fly ball right field. Swoboda is a 4. Can he come up with it? He comes in and makes the catch. Oh, he had to come in on it, and he made a nice catch, a little sliding catch from Ron Swoboda. 2 outs in the third inning. Here's Artie Spangler. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out his first time up. 2 outs here in the third inning. Nice crowd here at Shea Stadium, watching what was one of the greatest pitching performances of all time in Game 1 of this doubleheader that's on the channel, as Jacob Degrom nearly made history. But now it's the man who gets on the coattails of Jacob, Tom Seaver, working the second game of this doubleheader. Grody puts down the sign. Seaver looks in, and the ground ball a second. Linz has got in front of him. Tough play. Oh, he's in a really tough play. Can't come up with it. Goes by him almost. Knocks it down. And that'll be an infield hit for Spangler. And the Cubs have their second hit of the ball game with 2 outs in the third. What that does is it gives Billy Williams a chance. He walked his first time up. Now Seaver's got to work with Williams with a runner on first base and 2 men out. Grody puts out the sign for him. Seaver from the stretch. Seaver, not much of a threat to steal. Looks in. Here's the pitch to Billy Williams. And that is a pop up to second. Linz is there. Puts a hitter. Monica makes the catch. And the Cubs go down to third. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We go to bottom. The score here. So rapid fire game 2. Games played the Degrom and Seaver games of the 68 replay. Everything else is usually auto played. And then we'll get back to the Yankee play, which is right about the same time of the season. They have a game 3 against the Texas Rangers, who they split the first 2. And we'll be showing you that third game at some point, probably tomorrow as we head into Monday of the new week. Here's Harrelson, switch hitting, batting from the right-hand side, hitting .239, 5 RBIs. He'll be followed by an here on the home third. Hundley puts down the target, and Ken Holtzman up. Here's the pitch to Harrelson. Fly ball center field. Phillips is there, makes the catch, and the Cubs as a defense have 3 threes in the field, and they're all decent to above average on the arms. Like they call it my Squid Game arms, as Williams and Spangler definitely have the yellow lights, and Phillips is just a tad above the green light at a +1. The Cubs in the infield, one of the best you're going to get. 1 at third, a 2 at short, 1 at second, and a 3 in a low rating at first with Banks. Hundley's a 1 with a strong arm, and Holtzman has a pretty good move. So the Cubs very effective 1968 team. Seaver bats. He's hitting .158, 3 RBIs in the season. Not much on the cart for Tom Terrific. Hundley sets in the target. Ken Holtzman, the lineup. Here's the pitch to Seaver. And here is a struck him out. 2 outs in the third. Here's AG. AG again comes up. He grounded out his first time up. That was Holtzman's 4th K. So AG steps up. Mets look like they can't. They only scored 3 in the opener when they won it. So they're kind of having a difficult time this weekend. They used Ferguson Jenkins in the first game. They're looking to sweep the Cubs in this very important little 3-game important, I guess you call hand and face like other series versus the Cubs. They're showing the Cubs the Mets mean business here. Hundley puts down the sign. Holtzman looks in. Here is the big wind up to AG. And that is a single left field for AG. Second hit of the ball game. AG will stay where he's at on first with 2 outs. He's being held by Banks. And here is Art Weiss. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out his first time up. Hundley puts down the sign, and Holtzman working from the stretch. Run first and 2 out, and wind up to Weiss. And here is ground first. Banks got it. He'll take it to himself. And the Mets are done in the third. With 3 here at New York. No score. Both teams, no runs on. 2 hits and 2 errors. Here is Banks. Let's do double back in the first. We followed by Ron Sandlin. So Banks doubled his first time. 2 hitter, future Hall of Famer with the 4th. Grody sets the target. Tom Seaver looks in the big gun right hand in the 4th. Here's the windup. It's going to be a right field. It is. So that's going to be a fly ball into left field. That's Cleon Jones. He's 311, makes that part of it, and makes the catch. Good catch, Cleon Jones. So the Met outfield is Jones at 3, AG at 2, Swoboda at 4. So you want to look at it this way. Swoboda is definitely a definitely below average fielding right fielder, while AG and Jones are about above and then about average. As for arms, Jones is a very effective light red. AG has a strong red light arm at a -3, and Swoboda is at a yellow with the 0. Met defense on this game, at least, Weiss is a 2, Harrelson's a 3, Lynn's a 3, Charles is a 4, the high E rating. But he's been making up with a strong bat so far. Grody is a 2 with a strong arm. Seaver, a young pitcher, very good fielder, and only has a little bit above average hold. Santos up 1 out in the 4th. Grody puts down the target. Seaver with the windup here is the pitch to Sano. And that is a fly ball to right. Swoboda comes in, makes the catch, and there's 2 outs. And Becker, he's 0 for 1. Average dropped to 359. 9 doubles and 10 ribbies. Grody puts down the sign. Seaver with the big windup and deals to Becker. And that is a strikeout looking. Seaver gets the inside corner. The Cubs go down in the 4th. Hey, let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning. No score here from Shea. So Cleon Jones, followed by Ed Charles and Ron Swoboda, the bat for the Mets here in the 4th. It is so far no runs on 2 hits for the Cubbies, no runs on 2 hits for the Mets. Hundley puts down the sign. Ken Holtzman looks in. They wind up the Cleon Jones. And that's a single right field for Cleon Jones. So he's on base on first. Jones will take his spot over there. Banks will hold and brings up a tough big right-hander, Eddie Charles. 0 for 1, struck out his first time up. Hundley goes down, talks to Holtzman a little bit, gets back behind the plate, sets the target. Holtzman from the stretch, out the belt. Here's the pitch to Eddie Charles. And Eddie Charles off the walk, and the Mets got 2 on it. Nobody out here in the home 4th. Now here, so 0 for the game. Struggling a bit with the battle, hitting about a buck. Now he struck first time up. Holtzman trying to work his way in and out of trouble. Hundley puts down the sign. Holtzman from the stretch goes to his belt. Here's the pitch to Swoboda. And then grab on a second. Let's see if Becker can turn 2 on this. He can't with his arms. Oh, Becker cannot control it. That's an E4. So Ed Charles got in the way of Becker. Becker cannot field it. And the Mets have the bases loaded on a rare E4 like a black cat ran in front of Becker. Bases loaded, nobody out in the 4th, and here is Jerry Grody. 284, 3 doubles, a homer, and 3 ribbies. Hundley sets in the target. Holtzman looking from the stretch. Cubs to play the infield in with nobody out. Here's the pitch to Grody. And that is a ground ball to short. Let's see if Kessler can come up with it. No, he knocks it down. That's a base hit. 1 run scores, and the Mets lead 1-0. RBI as Charles takes 3rd. Swoboda moves to 2nd, and the run scores. So an infield hit for Grody. Jones scores, and the Mets lead 1-0. So the Mets getting some goofy hits and some untimely errors. So here's Phil Linz. He's 0 for 1. The harmonica-driven Mr. Musical here, Phil Linz. Bases loaded, no out in the 4th. Hundley sets in the target, and Holtzman from the stretch. Bases loaded, nobody out. Pitch to Linz. And that is a ground ball to third. Let's see if Sano can come up with it. He got 1. Does he go for 2? Yes, he does. Let's see if he goes home and gets a double play first. Does he go home and gets it? And I think he does. He got it. 5-2-3. So Sano to home, back to Banks, and got a double play. So second and third, 2 outs now. Second, here's Harrelson. He's 0 for 1, flight out his first time up. Mets with a 1-0 lead, out hitting the Cubs 4-2. Hundley puts down the target, and Holtzman from the stretch. Second, third, 2 outs. Pitch to Harrelson. And that's a single left field. So a bonus scores. Here comes Grody. He's going to try to score, and does. Grody with a nice turnaround third and scores, and Mets take out 3-0 as Harrelson knocks in 2. So the Mets look sweep today, have a 3-0 lead again. Here is Seaver. He's 0 for 1. So Hundley puts down the target. Holtzman from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Seaver. And that's a strike. Him out, ends the inning. But the Mets scored 3 in the 4th. Thanks to some timely plays by Becker and a couple infield hits. We played 4. Mets lead by 3-0. I look at Holtzman right now. They say all those runs were earned. Ooh, that's kind of tough. That baseball's official score may have to talk to Ken Holtzman about that one. That error by Becker kind of kept the inning alive, but the official scores say they are all earned. So here's Randy Hundley, followed by Kessinger and Holtzman. Here in the visitors' 5th inning, Seaver with a 3-0 lead, only giving up 2 hits through 4. Grody puts down the sign, and Seaver looks in to wind up Hundley. And that's going to be a strikeout for Seaver, number 5. Here's Kessinger. Find out his first time up. Grody sets in the target. Seaver with the windup pitch to Kessinger, and that is a strikeout for Kessinger. 6 for Seaver. Here's Holtzman. Can we have the immaculate inning? Grody puts down the target. Seaver looks in the sign. Holtzman is pulled in the 5th. Wow. So Franks goes ahead and pulls Holtzman after only 4 innings of work. And we'll see the guy who's getting absolutely booed out of the building. His name is Willie Smith. He had probably one of the best at-bats in the first game of the doubleheader. Unfortunately, the fans do not appreciate it. So Smith comes up as the pinch hitter. Holtzman pulled early. Grody puts down the target, and Seaver looks in. Here's a pitch to Willie Smith, and Willie Smith hits a line, dropping the gap just like he did in Game 1 over AT's head. Willie, 2 out, he's on at second. Oh, he loves to hit right-handed pitching. Here's Adolfo Phillips. Runner on second, 2 outs. Phillips the batter. Grody sets in the target. Seaver from the stretch. Runner on second, 2 out. Pitch to Phillips. And that is a strikeout for Seaver. He gets the side out. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Mets 3, Cubs nothing. Pitching for the Cubs, Bill Stoneman. 1-1 on the replay. 9 hits over 10 innings. 4 walks, 7 strikeouts. Only 29 innings during the regular season. AG followed by Weiss and Jones. 3-0. Out in the Cubs 5-3. Hundley puts down the sign. Stoneman looks in. Here's the pitch to AG. AG, ground ball to short. Kessinger's got it. Goes to first, and you got 1 out. So here is Al Weiss. He's 0 for 2. 2 ground out. Hundley puts down the sign. Stoneman with the windup and pitch to Weiss, and that's a ground ball back to Stoneman. He's got it. Goes to first, and that's 2 outs in the 5th. Here's Cleon Jones. 1 for 2 with a run scored. Hundley put down the target, quick, it's ready. Stoneman with a windup. Here's the pitch to Cleon Jones, and that's a fly ball right field. Spangler is there. 3 up, 3 down, go to Mets. We head to 6th. Mets lead 3-0. The Mets 3 runs on 5 hits, while the Cubs no runs on 3 hits and 1 error. We go to the 6th inning. So now here comes Spangler, followed by Williams and Banks, the meat of this Cub order, against Seaver, who's only given up 3 hits through 5. Grody puts down the sign. Seaver looks in, and the big windup to Spangler, and that is a strikeout inside corner. Had him looking at it. That is 8 for Seaver through 5 in the 3rd. Here's Billy Williams, 0 for 1, walk and a pop out. Grody puts down the sign. Seaver looks in. Here's a windup to Billy Williams. 5 ball center field. He almost got struck out. AG with the catch, and there's 2 outs. Here's Ernie Banks, 1 for 2, doubled back in the 1st. 2 outs in the 6th. Seaver cruise control right now for these Mets. Grody puts down the sign. Seaver looks in. Here's the windup to Ernie Banks. And that is going to be a catch X. Pop up behind the plate. Grody's there. Nobody comes out and makes the play behind the plate. Little nubber from the plate. Grody comes out, gets the strike zone, gets him out. Eddie Charles makes a nice play. 3 up, 3 down, go to Cubs. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is 3-0 Mets. So Ed Charles, followed by Ron Swoboda and Jerry Grody for the Mets here in the 6th. Charles 0 for 1, walked in that 4th inning when the Mets scored 3 times. Bill Stoneman still pitching for the Cubs here in the 6th. Hundley puts down the sign, and Bill Stoneman with the wind-up to pitch to Ed Charles. And that is a walk for Charles. So Charles is on for the 2nd time. Here's Ron Swoboda. Reached on a huge error by Glenn Becker back in the 2nd inning. Hundley puts down the sign. Stoneman working from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Swoboda. That's a ground ball second. Let's see if Becker can redeem himself. There's 1. Goes for 2. Now the same error he had before. Holy bad luck. Becker cannot believe it. Another black cat rolled in front of him, and Becker just throws it down. He goes to the mound, grabs the rosin bag, and Becker can't believe another E4. That's the 2nd of the ball game. He only made 20 errors in 68. He got a 1 to defense. 1st and 2nd, no outs in the 6th. The Mets again have an inning started. And here's Jerry Grody quietly having a solid year, 2 for 2 with a run batted in. Hundley puts down the target, and now Stoneman having some bad luck. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Here's the pitch to Grody. And that is going to be a line drive to deep left field. That's trouble. Becker throws off the top of the wall. Charles will score. Here comes Swoboda. Swoboda's going to try to score, and he's in there. It's 5-0 Mets. A 2-run double for Grody. And the Mets with a 5-0 lead here in the 6th. Here's Phil Linz. Ground out the double play his last time up. Mets now lead by 5. Hundley puts down the sign. Stoneman here from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Linz. And Linz, ground ball to short. Kessler looks Grody back. Throws him out the banks for the out number 1. Here's Harrelson. Big RBI back in the 4th. Knocked in 2 runs. RBI 6 and 7 for Buddy. He's batting lefty now against the right-handed Stoneman. Hundley puts down the sign, and Stoneman working from the stretch. Pitch to Harrelson. And that is a line drive to deep right field. Back of Spangler makes the catch at the track. There's 2 outs. Here's Seaver. He's not coming out of there. Boy, he looks like he's energized. 5-run lead here for him here in the 6th. Hundley puts down the target. Stoneman will wind up here to pitch to Seaver. And that's a strikeout for Stoneman, and that's all for the Mets. They score 2 in the 6th. They lead it by 5-0. We head to the 7th, and it'll be Sano, followed by Becker and Hundley for the Cubs in the 7th. So Santo batter, Seaver working his 7th inning of work, only give up 3 hits through 6. Grody puts down the sign. Seaver looks in. Here's the windup to Sano. And Sano with a base hit. That's a deep drive left field. Jones got to go get it. Sano around 2nd. He's going to try to hit for 3rd. That's a classic call. Sano's in there. Wow. Go. You try there to make the first out or last out at 3rd as Sano triples to start the 7th. So Seaver maybe one of his starts off with his worst possibilities. Runner on 3rd, nobody out. He has a 5-run lead to work with. Here's Becker, runner on 3rd, nobody out. Seaver not worried about Sano. He can dance all around all he wants. That lead, that run pretty much doesn't mean much. But maybe a Seaver, he wants that shutout. Grody puts down the sign. Seaver from the stretch to Becker, who's 0 for 2, and the pitch. And that's going to be a base hit for Becker. Sano walks in, 5-1. That's 7th. So Glenn Becker with an RBI, 5-1 New York. And here's Randy Hundley. So Hundley the batter, 0 for 2. Grody puts down the sign. Seaver to work from the stretch. Seaver in his first problem game so far today. Here's the pitch. His first problems here. 1-9 pop the first. Charles is there. Waits, makes the catch, and 1 away. Here's Kepner 0 for 2. Let's say his first big trouble today. That's a 4-run lead now. Grody puts down the target. Seaver from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Kessinger. And that one ball to 2nd. Let's see if the Mets can turn 2. That's Linz. He is a 3. Top play. That's a fielder's choice, and that's all you're going to get. So Linz with a fielder's choice, 2 outs, and that will force the Cubs The bat for Stoneman here in the 7th. 5-1 Mets, 2 outs, Ketchinger on at first. The Cubs will go with Johnson. So Johnson about for the Cubs, 4 at-bats, 1 hit. It was an extra base hit. It was a double. So batting will be Lou Johnson, the former Los Angeles Dodger. Batting from the right side. Grody sets in the target. Seaver from the stretch. Run first, 2 out, pitch to Lou Johnson. And Lou Johnson popped the first. Charles is there, makes the catch, and the Cubs add 1. Hey, let's stretch. Here in New York, it's 5-1 Mets. Pitching for the Cubs, Lambabe, L-A-M-A-B-E. He's pitched 6th inning for the Cubs in relief this year, giving up 5 hits, 3 strikeouts. He had 61 in relief innings for the Cubs and 68, 4.2628 ERA, 3-2 and 1 save. So he'll now pitch to A.G. Weiss and Jones here in the 7th. 5-1 Mets trying to finish the deal. Doubleheader sweep. Hundley puts down the sign. Lambabe puts in for the lineup. Here's the pitch to A.G. And that's a deep drive to left field. A.J. way back, puts the bat down, and it is gone. Going, gone, goodbye, as Ralph Kiner would say. Tommy A.G., 2nd home run of the season, and the Mets take a 6-1 lead. So now here's Al Weiss, 0 for 3. So as quickly as the Cubs get a run back, A.G. off the 7th with a bomb. So now Hundley goes out and talks to Lambabe here after giving up that shot. Weiss comes in 0 for 3. Here's the pitch to Weiss. And now that's a couple back to Lambabe. Throws out the send 1 away to Cleon Jones. 1 for 3, single back in the 4th. He put down the target. Lambabe with the windup. Here's a pitch to Jones, and that is a line drive to deep left field. That is gone. Phillips is back, running out of room, out of here, home run. So another home run. This Cleon Jones is 5th of the year. Going, gone, goodbye. And the Mets take a 7-1 lead. So the Mets taking advantage of the power department here. So now here's Ed Charles, 0 for 1 with a couple walks. Hundley puts down the target. Lambabe is getting absolutely destroyed. 2 solid deep drives here. Shea Stadium crowd on their feet. Lambabe with the pitch. Here's a pitch to Charles. And he ground ball to short. Ketchinger throws it out, and he got 2 outs. Here's Ronnie Sloboda, 0 for 3, scored twice on 2 errors from Glenn Beckert. Hundley puts down the target. Lambabe, here's the pitch to Sloboda. And that's going to be a fly-ball center. That should be Phillips. Comes in, makes the catch, ends the inning. But the Mets get 2 solo long home runs. We played 7-1. Now the question is, how much can Tom Seaver do it here? Can Seaver come in and finish TS Mets? We'll see if he stays out there. So far, they're not going to move him out of there. So I think this right now. And Phillips followed by Spangler and Williams. So here's Phillips, the batter, 0 for 3. Seaver in his 8th inning of work, only giving up 5 hits through 7. Grody puts that in. Seaver with a windup. Here's a pitch to Phillips. And that is a fly ball left field. Is there 1 out here in 8th? Here's Spangler. He's 1 for 3. He's back in the 3rd. Grody puts the target. Seaver with the windup. Here's the pitch to Spangler. And that's the pop to 2nd. Linz is there. Makes the catch. And there's 2 outs. Billy Williams, 0 for 2, walked back in the 1st inning. Seaver going to the 8th inning, has struck out 8 7 2/3. Grody puts down the sign. The franchise looks in. Here's the windup and pitch to Billy Williams. And that's a ground ball short. Harrelson's got his glove. Oh, cannot make the play. Goes through. So Billy Williams gets it through, seeing eye base hit number 6 for the Cubs. Cubs keep the inning alive. Here's Ernie Banks, 1 for 3 with a double back in 1st. Grody puts down the sign. Seaver looks in. Run first and 2 out. Pitch to Banks. And that is a ground ball to 3rd. Weiss has got it. Let's see if he comes up with it. He comes up with a throw. Oh, tough play here. And gets a good stretch by Charles. So the Cubs, no runs, one hit, they leave one. Bottom of the eighth coming up. Mets all over the Cubs. 7-1 of the second game of the doubleheader. Jerry Grody, the ball game. Grody's had 3 hits, a good double, 3 RBIs. Rising the average above 300. Hundley puts down the sign. Lambabe with the windup here's the pitch. And that is going to be a walk to Grody. Good thing he didn't get hurt. Now here is Phil Linz. He's 0 for 3. Hundley puts down the sign. Lambabe from the stretch. Here's pitch to Linz, and that is a ground ball to third. Santos should be a double play ball. It does, goes to second, and turns 2. 5, 4, 3. That's in the eighth. Here's Harrelson, 1 for 3, 2 RBIs. Hundley sets in the target. Lave with the windup and pitch to Harrelson, and that's a ground ball to second. Looks like this should be over. Becker, can he make a play today? And he finally does. 3 up, 3 down, go to Mets. Hey, let's go to the ninth. Seaver looking for a complete game. Leads 7-1. So Seaver now pitches to Sano, Becker, and Hundley. A win here by the Mets extends that lead out here in the 1968 National Leagues. Again, not till 1969, a year later, where baseball has decided to extend and go to American National League East and a National League West. That's the one division alignment. Grody puts down the sign. Seaver with the windup. Here's the pitch to Sano. And that is a fly ball to center. Agee there makes the catch. And there is one out. Here's Becker. Becker 1 for 3. RBI single back in the 7th. Mets holding on to a commanding 7-1 lead. 1 out in the 9th. Grody puts down the target. Seaver looks in. Here's the windup to Becker. 1 away. And that's a ground ball short. Harrelson goes to Charles. And there's 2 outs. 2 outs in the 9th, fans on their feet. Randy Hundley 0 for 3 in the ball game. Grody puts down the sign, and Seaver looks in for the windup. Here's the pitch to Hundley. And that's a strike came out, and a happy recap for your New York Mets. So Tom Seaver strikes out his 9th Cub to end the game. Pitches a complete game, and the Mets lead it 7-1. The Mets get 3 runs in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 7th. Go on to win this 7-1. Mets 7 runs on 8 hits. The Cubs 1 run, 6 hits, and 2 errors. Seaver improves to 2-1, goes the complete game, Brute. 9 innings, 6 hits, 1 run earned, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. ERA starting to come down at 3.49. Holtzman only able to go 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, walk, 5 strikeouts. Stolman pitched 2 innings, 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 earned. Lambabe 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, back-to-back, belly-to-belly blast. This was the second game of a doubleheader. Home runs by Agee and Jones, doubled by Banks, Smith, and Grody, triples by Sano. RBIs by Becker, Agee, Jones. Grody had 3 RBIs. Harrelson had 2. For the Cubs, any multiple hitter attacks? No, all by 1. Spangler, Williams, Banks, Sano, Becker had the lone hits. The Mets Cubs only had 6 hits in the ball game, and Will Smith had a pinch hit. The Mets went 8 of 32, 7 runs scored, 7 RBIs. Grody went 3 for 3, run scored, 3 RBIs. Agee 2 for 4, run scored, an RBI. Cleon Jones 2 for 4, 2 runs scored, an RBI. Kyler's corner game 2. You know what? They decided they want to speak to Jerry Grody, along with Tom Seaver and Jacob Degrom. They want to ask Jerry Grody how he caught 2 amazing games today. Again, go out and please watch game 1 of this doubleheader that Jacob Degrom nearly pitched. And then Tom Seaver, you just witnessed, goes the complete distance. 9 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 1 earned. Should be an interesting conversation as Ralph talks to Jerry about his 2 main aces. Let's now go to the scoreboard and see what's up. Again, we'll skip ahead to DeGrom's next start and see how the Mets are going to do here. It's Jerry Koosman against St. Louis as they go Bush to take on Ray Washburn. So you could see a possible Gibson matchup this week. So we'll see how that will work. Play the day, play it forward, and the Mets and Jerry Koosman beats Ray Washburn and the Cardinals 1-0 as the Mets continue to lead in the L. So a nice job there. Let's see who gets it here on May the 7th. To the Mets, Don Cardwell against Larry Cardinal. They win 2 in a row here, and they do. They beat the Cardinals 2-1. So the Mets have won 2 straight here, and now, wow, see what goes on here in the Mets future. Dick Selma against Bob Gibson. I do not have good feelings about this one. I think Gibson's going to win this one, and they do. Bob Gibson shuts out the Mets, wins it 2-0. The Mets streak is over, but Degrom and Seaver do not pitch in St. Louis. That's important to kind of look at in the long range of things. Mets do not play on May the 9th, so we'll go ahead and fast forward that completely. Again, we're going to get to May the 10th part of the schedule. It should be Degrom, Seaver in this weekends of games, we think. So we'll look ahead, and it's going to be Jacob Degrom's next start playing, guess where? Bill Hands again, same matchup as before, and it will be this time at Wrigley Field. So again, Mets Cubs, if you like it once, you'll see it again. So Degrom coming off the amazing performance, pitches again Friday. And then on Saturday, Tom Seaver and Ken Holtzman again. Again, that will again be televised. And again, that will be from Wrigley on a Saturday. And then the Sunday finale, it will be a doubleheader. Jerry Kuzman and Don Cardwell takes on Joe Negro and Rich Nye, science guy. I don't think he's a science guy. Rich Nye for the Cubs here in the finale. And then once that is over, the Mets will go. Let's see what the Mets will do after that, kind of keeping you away. Reds will play the Mets. That's be Dick Selma, so that's nothing to worry about. Jacob Degrom's next start after that will be in Cincinnati, and George Culver playing the Reds. So that'll be a Wednesday night after that. Well, folks, you got it right there. Please come back to us on May the 10th, Friday afternoon, as the Mets continue to play some awesome baseball in this 1968 alternate universe, as Jacob Degrom's 2021 Stratomatic card has invaded the 1968 season to see how it work out. Mets are still in first place at 16-8. The Cubs are still in second at 16-10. They're a game back. Giants are 2 back. They are 15-11, and the Pirates are 14-11. Next telecast will probably be the Rangers. Game 3 of their weekend series. Stay tuned for that at some point. We'll have that going. I thank you for coming, and I appreciate it. For everyone being here again, please go back and watch the Jacob Degrom game. I have only had like 6 or 7 views on this. One of the absolute unbelievable broadcast games I've ever done. It was just almost had something I never did before. So please watch it. Degrom was absolutely epic on that day. We'll talk to you later, folks, probably tomorrow, as Yankees Rangers will probably finish up at home. We'll see you again. This has been the Sports Time Machine's presentation of Major League Baseball 1968 alternate universe.